Welcome to the SITA Academy. Today we'll be seeing our introductory video to computer science networking. As earlier mentioned, SITA Academy is an extension of the MAFA main branch, and today we'll be entering into networking and seeing the basics. So our learning outcome for today or objective would be define a network, define computer networking, discuss the advantages and disadvantages of computer network. Describe the main types of computer networks and we'll see some GC questions. So diving into our lesson, we need to understand what is meant by a network. When we speak of a network in the natural society where we live in, it's just like something like friendship. A network is made up of items or devices linked together because they share similar goals. I'll expatiate more on this word function and goals. You can be with a friend. The reason why people are together or people are friends is because people like the same games, people like doing the same things, so people have like the same function, or because people are classmates. Or someone can be a friend equally because people have a common interest of study, so people meet together to study. That is what is a network, the coming together of two things to accomplish a function or they have a common interest or common goal. In the world of computer network, a computer network is a connection or interconnection between two or more computers in order to communicate and share resources between each other through shared communication means or media. Shared communication means or media means these are the pathways through which information can be conveyed or through which information can be transmitted from one device to the other. Networking is very good because it has some advantages. If something does not have advantages, it means that thing is not profitable or it cannot help the society. Networking. Files are stored centrally on a device so it can be accessed on any computer across the network. In a network, there's a device, a very powerful and strong device called the server. This server acts as a central device which can be used to store all the information that is being handled in the network, and any other device in the network can access this information at any time. Next, we have devices such as printers, scanners can be accessed by any other device in the network, thereby reducing costs. Imagine in a school, each vice principal or a principal, each of them are supposed to buy a printer. All of them being connected to a network, they can just use a single printer and all the work will be done. Computers and devices connected to a network can easily share information among themselves. The principal can easily send an information to the vice principal and so forth. That is the same thing with WhatsApp groups and WhatsApp forums. That sometimes since everybody is in the same group, sharing of information become very easy in that the admin don't need anymore to message each person saying like good morning John, good morning A, good morning B. You can just send a general message in the group, good morning to everyone. So sharing of information is very easy among members in the network. Any computer or any user can access the network from any location. Even if you travel and go to Douala, Nigeria or out of Africa, you can still access the network at any time at your disposal. So now we are going to move into the disadvantages of computer network. Even though computer networking has some advantages, there are equally some disadvantages in this computer networking world. Disadvantages of computer networking. One, viruses can easily be spread in a network. When a device or a user's computer in the network is infected with virus, it can easily be spread to all other computers in the network. Let's just take a local case of a USB key. Imagine your friend brings a USB key and plug in into your computer, and the USB key has viruses. Your computer will certainly be damaged. That's the same thing that goes on with computer network. Large network are slow and less reliable. So when the network become very, very large, it become equally very, very slow. Management. Specialized skills are needed to continue to manage the network. We equally have the initial cost of setting up a network is equally high. And another thing, when devices are in a network, hackers can easily penetrate into that network if not well protected by firewalls or other protecting devices in the network. So now we're going to go into the types of network, and networking is divided into, I would say, the three bases in which network can be divided into. We have in terms of area coverage, in terms of resource allocation, and in terms of connection. So we're going to see the first part, which is area coverage, where we're going to see the LAN, the MAN, the PAN, the WAN, etc. PAN, the personal area network. LAN, local area network. MAN, metropolitan area network. Types of network. There are so many others. We equally have the WAN, and we have another one called as SVAN. So the range is very, very, very vast. But we're just going to base ourselves now on the four essential. The personal area network. The personal area network is used within a very small area. This is usually one This is usually a person on like his computer or on his vehicle, like a small spot. Bluetooth is used to connect these devices. Like if you think about the Bluetooth range, it is very, very short. So that's like a personal area network. When you go out of a certain range, the Bluetooth can no more connect. So like the personal area network is mostly you just sitting on your computer and manipulating it, or a close friend sits beside you and you connect Bluetooth. So examples of PAN, smart watches. There are some watches that are connected to your phone, smart headphones, wireless keyboard. All those things are like personal area network because they work within a very, very small range. We equally have the local area network, LAN. LAN is used within a small geographical area which is usually limited to one building, or it can even be a closed building. This network can be connected wirelessly, but for reliability, wired hardware, often the Ethernet is often used. So it's just like a building, a connection that is just take like a building, and you can use wireless connection like Wi-Fi, but it's always good to use the Ethernet cable because wired connection always give how can we wired connection has a higher bandwidth. It means information that is transmitted using cables is higher than information transmitted using wireless mode like Wi-Fi. Examples of LAN will have the home network, small businesses and schools or colleges in a room. So that's an example of LAN network. Going into the MAN, it is a network that connects devices across cities. It covers a wider area than smaller networks like LAN and PAN. Examples of MAN. So as we said, this MAN can cover a city or a whole quarter. An example is installation of TV cables in and around your quarter. All those TV cables that can be connected around your quarter are examples of this MAN network. So it can cover a city or a quarter. So we see that the range is larger than that of LAN, which can just be a building. Going deep into the types of network, we're going to see the largest of all, which is now the wide area network, WAN. This spread across large geographical areas, often an entire country or further. It can even be the whole continent, and the biggest one is the internet. The internet is a large scale one, which uses, how can I even say, the Ethernet you can notice that the Ethernet connects everybody around the world. It means it's the largest one that can exist. So this one can even cover the whole world or the whole continent. It's very, very big. So we have something like this MTN, Orange, Nextel, Ocamtel. They are very, very large because they cover countries, continent, etc. So examples of one, we have the internet, mobile network, banking network, etc. So this one is the largest of all in terms of geographical coverage. So now we're going to go in the other types or ways in which network are being classified, which are the mode of connection. The mode of connection here will mean either wirelessly or wired. A network does not allow require cables because devices can be communicated using wireless signals such as radio waves. So a wireless connection, this is like a connection or a networking mode in which devices transmit information without the use of cables. They use things like microwaves, radio waves, etc. Just example, when you are using the remote control to your TV, there's no like a physical cable connecting, but you have your remote, and the remote control emits radio waves. Data is transmitted through the air using technologies like Wi-Fi and mobile networks instead of physical wires. This allows devices to stay connected without being physically linked. Wireless networks have several advantages. They allow easy installation, mobility of devices and lower setup costs. Many devices can connect at the same time without need of cable. So just imagine that sometimes your friend comes and say he's short of data connection, and you can have two, three or more of your friends. People will not go and buy cables to be connecting and be doing so many other things. You just give your Wi-Fi, your hotspot password, and they connect through Wi-Fi, and so many of them can be connected. Even when they play online games, most of the time they don't use cables to connect them, they use Wi-Fi networks. So these are the advantages of wireless. The main disadvantages of wireless connection is slow bandwidth. So the number that the bandwidth is slow means the amount of information that can be transmitted with time is slower or relatively low compared to when it is wired. Wire and wireless connection are the same because they perform same function, but the main advantage of the wired is that the bandwidth is very high. We are now going to go into the other part of the ways in which network or the ways in which computer network can be classified or divided. Computers can be classified based on how they are organized and communicate into network. There are two main types, peer-to-peer and client-server, which these are known as computer architectures. Computer architectures. In a peer-to-peer network, all computers are equally like in a peer-to-peer network, all computers have equal rights. There's no central device like a server which is used to store information. That is, in a network, all the computers behave both as servers and behave as clients at the same time. So there's no central device which can be used to store information. While in contrast to the client server, there's a very powerful computer known as the client that is used to store all the information, and other computers in the network which are not used to store the information are called now the client, which access the information stored in the server. So that is the main difference between the two. So we're now going to see an example of a question that came in the GC in 2023 Computer Science question 4 for 7 marks. GC Advanced Level 2023 Paper 2 question 4. What is a network? As we said earlier, a network is a connection or interconnection between two or more devices in order to share and communicate among each other using shared communication links. This question was for 2 marks. State and explain 3 advantages and disadvantages and 2 disadvantages of a computer network. We have a lot of advantages. One, files are organized in a central manner using a server. Computers can communicate and share resources among each other. The cost of some devices is reduced. That is, since printers, scanners can be shared among devices, a user can access the network from any remote location. And disadvantages, we saw that initially the initial cost of setting up a network is high, viruses can easily be spread, and equally we heard about a server being an advantage. It can equally be a disadvantage because a fall in the server can lead to the fall of the whole network. When we are going to go into part 2 or part 3, we are going to see more of this server in topologies network, where we are going to see the bus and the star topology, and we are going to see what happens when the central device is being damaged or destroyed. So these questions came for 7 marks. So I've come to the end of part 1 here, Sita Academy. I am called Neil Leonard, a student from the Higher National Polytechnic Institute in Bamenda, part of the MAFA team. Thank you. Subscribe and follow for more.